Hey everyone, before you watch this video make sure you've seen the previous parts, the links will be in the description. Now I don't wanna yap too much before this one, so all I'll say is that in case you don't stay for the note at the end, I might be gone for an extra week or two after this one, but anyways I hope you enjoy this finale. Love y'all. Katsuki held Izuku in his arms until his tears stopped and his heart rate settled down, the entire time racking his brain for a way to fix what he'd inadvertently caused. But just as Izuku was hesitantly backing out of his grasp to take a deep breath, the pair that had initially woken them up reappeared outside the nest. Is everything okay? Not really, at all, no. Yeah, and I hate to make things even worse, but Kami was telling me the others have been looking for Tsu all morning. She isn't in her nest? Shit, she didn't come back last night? Who? What are you talking about? Fuck, I saw Tsu sat by the lake last night before I came to see you. We talked and she told me she wanted to go to our ship to see Eureka. Apparently she never came back. She went to your ship alone? So did you, right? Surely she's okay? I mean the journey is long but it's fine. I never attempted to interact with your ship or the people inside though. She's not back, Katsuki, that means something. I mean maybe Eureka invited her inside and she just stayed the night. They got along well, right? Totally. Tsu wanted to go help her with research the good way, like you did for us with the FASA, right? Katsuki, you just told me your friends are prioritizing their jobs and researching for the humans back on Earth over my kind's safety. And now you're trying to tell me a member of my family is safe with those same people. Right, you have a point. Shit, Kiri, we have to get down there. It really might be bad. You don't think they would have? I don't fucking know, man, but we can't just do nothing. Zu, are you coming? Of course I am. Kami's coming too. Katsuki nodded and put his spacesuit back on, before the two of them climbed out of Izuku's nest and joined the others on the trek back to the ship. They moved faster than they had on any other journey, and didn't speak much the whole way there. All four of them were tense as the worst-case scenarios ran through their minds. Wait, do you hear that? They slowed down slightly to listen, and once Katsuki's ears caught what Kirishima was talking about, he felt his heart drop. Momo, come on. Fuck. Let me in. Eureka! He yelled, and the four of them raced through the last of the forest to the clearing where the crashed ship was, only to see Eureka outside banging her fists on the door. Bakugo, Kirishima? Shit, I know you guys are mad at me and I'm sorry. That's not important right now. Where the fuck is Tsu? She's inside. What? Why are you out here? Is Tsu okay? She showed up last night and we stayed up for hours chatting. I must have totally passed out midway through our researching, and by the time I woke up in the morning she was gone, and Yomomo told me she was waiting out here for me. Of course she wasn't, and now they won't let me back in? She's a fucking psycho. Katsuki, what's going on? I'm sorry, Izuku. Tsu's in the ship with Momo. The alien's eyes widened and he began to shake as he slowly looked over to the girl stood by the door, but Denki suddenly lunged forward to grasp his wrist just as he rapidly lurched toward her. This is all your fault? She trusted you? He was hissing and trilling angrily, and Eureka could only stand there wringing her hands together, tears pooling in her eyes as the guilt washed over her. She didn't need to know what Izuku was saying to understand. Izuku, I know you're angry, I am too, but yelling at her isn't going to fix anything. We need to get inside the ship. We can break in. With what? Your tools are all inside. Nope, I left a stash out here for when I'm working on the exterior. That's a win for my laziness. He smugly shoved a few rocks around beside the ship and pulled out a bag of tools, tossing a blowtorch to Bakugo as the two of them instantly began working on breaking through the door. Wouldn't it be better to take it apart in a more fixable way? Dude, I don't care about the extra workload. We need to get in there ASAP. True, yeah, alright, I'll help you fix it. I'm really sorry. It's not your fault she's being held hostage in there, but it is her fault that she even came here in the first place. And that Momo is still on this tirade. I should have followed you guys. I don't agree with what she's doing. I really want to help people back home. You could have helped them by learning from Tsu. She wanted to help so badly, and this is what your people have done. I know, Zu. I'm disappointed too. I promise I never wanted to hurt her or the planet at all. I mean, come on, you guys know me, right? I would never want that. We know. I'm sure you can help us make it right. Yeah, of course. I'll do anything. Let's hope it's not too late. It took a few minutes, but they finally managed to cut a hole through the door big enough for each of them to climb through one at a time. Katsuki led the group directly to the ship's lab, but before they could get there they spotted Jiro sat outside in the hall with her head in her hands, until she heard their footsteps and instantly stood up in shock. Her face was pale. Oh fuck, oh my god, you guys, get the fuck out of the way. I'm sorry, I couldn't stop her. What has she done? Bakugo shoved Jiro aside so hard she hit her head against the wall, making Yurika reach out to catch her in shock as the man stormed forward to the lab. Are you okay? I'm fine, I deserved that. Kirishima hesitated for a moment as he checked to ensure the girls were okay, before feeling a wave of anger wash over him again and following Bakugo and Izuku down the hall. Once he barged through the door he felt nausea seeping through his body, his blood ran cold and his hands got that awful numb pins and needles feeling as his legs froze in place. Izuku rushed past him, instantly grasping at Tsu's limbs as she laid flat out on the table in the center of the room, and it was only then that Katsuki looked past her to see Momo sat in the corner, shaking with wide eyes as she stared at the ground. Momo, what the hell happened? Kirishima's voice was unsteady, but still he made his way toward the shaking woman, hesitantly reaching out to put a hand on her shoulder, and the moment he made contact she jolted in place and her eyes snapped up to him. I didn't. Denki, help me get her, I need to heal her. Katsuki, please help. The blonde man gulped dryly before snapping out of his daze and rushing forward to the unconscious Nari on the table, immediately pulling the tubes connected to various body parts out of her and helping them lift her from the table. Her beautifully speckled skin was littered with small incisions, and as they lowered her to the ground Izuku finally had the vantage point to see her properly. It wasn't a pretty sight. How could you do this? I think she's in shock. I don't fucking care, she's a goddamned monster. Babe, hey, come and get some water, come on. No, fuck you, don't take care of her right now. Do you see what she's done? She's clearly delirious, Bakugo. We need to get her out of this room and give her a minute. We can hate her all we want when she's calmed down. Can you watch her, Jiro? I need to help Tsu. Of course. Kirishima, go with them. Do not let them leave this ship. The redhead nodded and helped Jiro pull Momo to her feet. She continued staring at nothing as she was led out of the lab, leaving Bakugo to crouch down to Izuku, who was holding Tsu's hands as he slowly worked on healing her. She'll be okay. I just need a minute. Is there anything I can do to help? Yurika stepped closer, but Denki blocked her path, glaring up at her as Izuku continued to concentrate. I think you've done enough. It looks like Momo was testing her blood, but she also used anesthetic to put her to sleep before doing anything. She probably did it before either of us even woke up. Fuck this bullshit. I'll be back in a minute. If you touch him, I swear to God. I won't. I'll stand right here, I swear. Where are you going? Words clearly don't work anymore. Katsuki had reached the end of his patience, and despite praying their mission would never have to resort to this, he made his way to the back of the ship to unlock the armory. He grabbed one of the guns he'd trained with before leaving Earth, and shakily rushed to where Jiro was still coddling Momo like a baby. She needs to explain herself. Holy shit, Bakugo, what the fuck? She is not the victim here. I know, I'm sorry. Please, I just put the gun away. You can't threaten us with a gun. Maybe you should step out and calm down a little, man. I'm not leaving till she gives me an explanation. I just want to go home. Well, that was the fucking plan, but you decided to go insane? You're the one who made Star expect us to stay here longer and fuck this whole planet up? I know, and I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. I thought if we just shut up and did what they asked then we could leave, but we can't rush the job when it's putting lives in danger. Momo. She knows that. She's apologized? She fucked up, okay, and I did too. I'm sorry I didn't stop her. Get back to the lab. What? But get back in there and see what you've done. At this point the girls knew the gun was all for show, but as Bakugo flicked it toward the lab they still did as he asked. He would never shoot them, but they knew he was right. The moment Momo stepped back into the room Izuku started screaming. Katsuki had to hold him back as he wanted nothing more than to hurt her as badly as she'd hurt Tsu. Get her out of here. Why is she back here? Get her away from Tsu. Izuku, it's okay, calm down. I get it, okay, I know. She isn't going to hurt her again, I swear. I won't let her. Is Tsu okay? He brushed a hand through Izuku's hair soothingly and the alien gradually calmed down, taking a deep breath before nodding in the direction of Tsu and Yurika, whose arms were wrapped around one another as they cried. I'm so sorry. I don't think sorry cuts it this time. I know, I don't expect forgiveness. We have to talk to Ida again. All of us need to have the same stance. We are not harming this planet, right? He glanced to the two girls who solemnly nodded in response. We can make a deal, Izuku. If we harvest the Faserite the right way, how much can we take without causing problems? There shouldn't be a limit if you're doing it right, however much you need. Katsuki nodded as plans raced through his mind, but without wasting a single moment he headed out to the cockpit to use their comms to contact Earth again. Momo? No, you're talking to me from now on. Bakugo? What happened? The research is off, we're coming home. Wait, but you can't just shut up. We're coming back to Earth with a supply of Faserite from this planet, the energy source that has made our comms reach you, and that soon we'll have this ship up and running again. It will allow our tech industry to progress at an exponentially faster rate. But what about all the other research, the healing these aliens are capable of? Star Corp won't allow it. If you head home they will just send another team now they know it's possible. You're not listening to me. I have weapons on this ship, and I have limitless access to Faserite and every other resource on this planet. In the year it will take for Star Corp to send more people here, I will have created advanced weaponry the likes of which humankind has never seen. I will not hesitate to kill anyone who steps foot on this planet. The line was silent for a moment, and everyone else in the room was holding their breaths. Katsuki had basically just declared war on the company they worked for. Right, I understand. Will you give me time to discuss this with my superiors? You tell them I want to talk to them, get them on a call with me by the end of today or the offer's off and you won't get any fucking resources, alright? Of course, please stand by. Once the call was dropped, Bakugo let out a deep breath, slumping against the ship's console with his head in his hands, making Izuku instantly reach up to rub his back soothingly. Hey, you did the right thing. Do you think they'll take it seriously? I dunno if I was threatening enough. You're pretty damn scary, Bakugo. I'm sure they'll listen. So what really is the plan anyway? If they agree, Kirishima and I will harvest more Faserite, and then we fix up the ship and send some back to Earth. Simple. Yeah, I guess that should work. I really think I should get Tsu back to the village. I don't need to be here for the call, right? No, it's fine. We'll go with them too. You're good with them, right, man? He gestured to the two girls still sat by the hallway, and Jiro couldn't help rolling her eyes. Look, I know we're the bad guys here, but come on, Kirishima, we're still the same people you trained with for a year and then traveled through space with for another. We fucked up. No, I fucked up. Stop covering for me. Babe, no matter what you did, I'm with you. Your fuck-ups are mine too. So I understand why you guys are pissed, but look, we'll just go mind our business back here till it's time to go home. I'm fine, you heard her. Plus I've got Izuku, and trust me, he won't let them do anything stupid. Too right. The group dispersed their separate ways. Kirishima and Denki escorted Tsu and Yurika back to the village. Momo and Jiro headed to their room, and Bakugo slumped down in the cockpit with Izuku, waiting for the call. Hey, I'm sorry. For what? The way I reacted this morning, and for not trusting you. Don't apologize. Everything you said this morning was more than valid. I'm just glad I could prove myself to you. I won't let them hurt this place, or you. But, you kind of just signed away everything you have? You just threatened your own people to protect Nari? My job was never supposed to cause problems for real lives on other planets. We're a space exploration team. We've been to planets with intelligent life forms before. Nothing quite as special as the Nari, but there still lives, and I have always fought for them. Humanity is self-centered. We call everything other than Earthborn creatures aliens, when in reality the moment we leave our own planet we are the aliens, especially if we go ahead and land on an already inhabited planet. So I knew right from the start that I would defend the Nari with all I have. Spending time with you only made it easier. Izuku's eyes were sparkling, his cheeks dusted blue as he looked at Katsuki with such awe, but before he could respond the man was hearing a voice in his ear. Hey Bakugo. When did you fix our comms? After I fixed the main one, the close-range ones were easy. Anyway, we made it to the village, and of course Denki explained the situation to the visitors, right? Oh, the other tribe, yeah. Well, they may have freaked out and are all leaving. They told us to tell Izuku that they no longer want anything to do with his tribe and their decision to be close to us humans. Shit, Zu, the other tribe have left and cut you off. I don't think they're your friends anymore. Oh, but that blue one stayed behind. Apparently he wanted to help, but now I think his tribe have abandoned him, so great, you gotta adopt Rhodey. What? Not actually adopt, I just mean like, he has no tribe anymore? Oh, he left them just to help us? I guess, yeah. Can you tell him I said thank you? Of course, Kiri let Rody know Izuku is all emotional up here and appreciates his help alright. You don't have to say all that. Will do man, anyway, good luck with that call, let me know how it goes. Of course, talk later. The moment he clicked the button on his earpiece to end communication he found himself toppled over onto his back. Whoa, what's this about? You're incredible, you're doing all this for us, you're so selfless and brave and, please can I kiss you again? Oh Izuku, you do not have to ask me that. He couldn't bite back his smile as he leaned up to connect their lips, feeling Izuku's hands reach down to cup his face as he laid on top of him and kissed back eagerly. Katsuki, I want you to stay with me. If the humans agree to your plan to take some Facerite back to Earth, I don't wanna let you go. Katsuki's eyes opened as Izuku continued kissing him. He tried to pull away to respond but the Nari only tugged him closer and desperately pressed his tongue into the man's mouth. I know you can't say anything, I don't want you to. I know what I'm saying is crazy, expecting you to stay here on this unknown planet while your friends go home but... Bakugo cut him off by rolling them over and pressing his back against the floor to pull away. He was still smiling but Izuku only looked embarrassed and scared. Hey, I wanna stay too. Look, there's nothing waiting for me back on Earth. Someone can tell my parents I love them and that's all I care about. Izuku, I want to stay here with you. You do? Really? Yes, I'll stay. They don't need me on the ship. I'm not going anywhere alright. He grinned and Izuku's eyes pooled with tears as he smiled along with him, before his head lifted from the ground to crash their mouths together in another messy kiss. Until they were rudely interrupted by an incoming call to the ship's main comms, forcing Bakugo to clamber off of Izuku as they both remembered the stakes of the situation at hand. Momo and Jiro clearly heard it and hesitantly made their way back into stand at the back of the room. Each respective pair held hands and inwardly prayed for it to go well, as Katsuki took a deep breath and hit accept. Hello, I assume I'm speaking to Bakugo? Yeah, who've you got for me, Chief? Well, my manager Izuku Shota. You met him while we were selecting the members for this team. We also have Rumi Usagiyama who is in charge of All Star Corp's public and social records. Zen Shigaraki, CEO of One for All Enterprises, is here. Along with the CEO of Star Corp, Anan Kurose. These are the only people you'll need to speak to in regards to this negotiation. Right, so we have two important people, a social media manager and a rich asshole. We're 50-50 on this request right now, Ida-san. You should be thanking him. Getting the CEO here on such short notice is no easy task. We're taking you seriously, so don't act like a child. Bakugo cleared his throat as he felt a nervous sweat prickling at his spine. He was used to being overly confident, but he'd never had to fight for something he cared about so deeply before. Hearing the sincerity in Izuku's voice set him on edge. Rahraida, so does everyone know my terms? Do you agree? This employee of yours has gone completely rogue. He doesn't even know what he's doing? We have to send more men out there to stop him and take the planet as soon as. My team have never gone rogue. Even now, they completed their mission. Everything they've been asked to do beyond breaching the black hole was simply a bonus out of their own goodwill to help this company and Earth. It was never part of any contract. They are not obligated to do our bidding. I agree, they were prepared to die for this research, but now they've found something bigger, worth living and fighting for. You know, I wish this video feed was working. I wanna get my eyes on these aliens. Kirishima hasn't gotten round to testing the Facerite on that yet. None of you people are getting it? We're trying to listen to you, Bakugo, but it's complicated. My team captain kidnapped an alien to run experiments? She drugged her up and cut her open on this very ship. She put this team and the whole fucking planet in jeopardy, all because you pressured her to keep experimenting to earn her way back home. The room was silent. Momo didn't dare speak up, and Izuku only squeezed Katsuki's hand tighter, rubbing his thumb over his skin delicately to soothe his anger. The Nari were kind enough to us to teach us the correct way to harvest Facerite. If it weren't for their open and kind nature, we would all have been dead before ever finding a way to contact Earth. You owe them everything. And yet they still want to offer you some of the very Facerite that is allowing us to communicate, that will allow the ship to fly again. Heck, maybe it'll even get home faster? You don't deserve it, but they want to give it to you anyway, just in return for their safety. Regardless of the outcome of this call, I have decided I will be staying behind on Elunari, along with Kirishima, who will be making great progress with the Facerite and every other resource here. and Ochako Yuruka, who will continue her medical research in the correct way. Whether or not the remaining members of the team bring back some Facerite to Earth is up to you. That's a lot to process. So, your offer is for us to receive some of this planet's advanced natural energy resource, in exchange for conducting purely ethical and peaceful research on said planet, which will of course be a lot slower than if we sent people in to do it however we wanted regardless of safety or alien life. Ma'am, I promise you, slow and steady will be a lot more effective than plowing through the planet and killing everything in your wake. I see no problems with this deal. I applaud you and your team for your incredible work and... Whoa, well now hang on a minute, you cannot be serious? Is this some kind of joke? Do I look like a lady who jokes about taking lives to you, sir? This is ridiculous. You are letting a boy threaten you into cooperation? Bakugo Katsuki completed the University of Tokyo's Aeronautics and Astronautics programs by the age of 22. He joined Star Corp immediately after and did a year's field training with many teams, spending an entire year exploring space to far-reaching planets in preparation for this one mission, the only mission he ever wanted to work. This is his life, sir. He is not simply a boy making crazy demands. Thank you, Ida-san. Of course, I'm proud of you, Bakugo. You're my friend and I'm happy to see you standing up for what you believe in. Well, ain't that darn cute? So, are you saying you accept my terms? Well, I will see to it that you are put in charge of all future research operations relating to Nari, and I can promise you I will not send anyone else to the planet until the Facerite arrives on Earth. However, I then would like to send back a team to assist you and Yuruka with your research. And Kirishima? Now that's where I'll have to put my foot down. We can't send those two young women back to Earth on their own without a mechanic. If anything goes wrong, the three of them at least have basic medical training, and Jiro is a fine enough pilot on her own, I'm sure, but the mechanic is essential to ensure I'm not risking their lives or the goods being sent with them. He will have to accompany them. Shit, alright, well seriously, thank you, you've made the right decision, I swear. Congratulations, Bakugo. This'll cause a right headache for business, young man. Understatement of the century. Whatever, Star Corp can handle it. Good luck, Bakugo. Keep us updated? Of course, thank you. The call ended and Katsuki instantly looked down to Izuku, seeing the way he was grinning up to him with those wide sparkly eyes, and he laughed, slumping to the ground in relief as he laughed and pulled the alien into his arms tightly. You really did it? I did. They agreed to everything. They're really going to leave us alone? Hey, thank you, Bakugo, for letting us go home. I really am sorry for everything. I'll help however I can before it's time to leave. That's up to Izuku. She won't try to hurt any of us again, right? No, I'm sure she won't. Then I'd like for her to come to the village, to see everyone and understand what she never tried to. That sounds like a great idea. You're lucky, Cap. You're finally gonna come see where they live. Whoa, what? But I can't. He's inviting you. You should accept the invitation. I really want you to meet them all too. But I was awful to Tsu. How could I step foot in their home after that? That's just who they are. I'm not gonna let you say no. Come on, let's go tell the others the good news. Okay, thank you. The next few weeks were chaos, but seemingly the good kind. Momo and Jiro spent a lot of time at the Nari village, learning everything they'd missed out on by constantly staying at the ship until now. Yuruka hardly left Tsu's side as they worked on more medical research, but the others noticed the two of them sneaking away to spend hours exploring. It was obvious they were enjoying their time together on sweet little dates. But they weren't the only ones. Bakugo and Kirishima of course were working every day on collecting Facerite, but since Denki found out that Kirishima would have to head home with the ship, he had been even clingier than usual. Izuku felt bad. He knew he would still have Katsuki, and Tsu would still have Yuruka, but Kami was left counting down the days until he'd be left behind. And when the day finally came, when they'd run all their tests and finally fixed everything, even improved upon it with the use of the Facerite, it was time to head back to Earth. I'll come back, I swear. Look, if this goes well I might be back in a year. I really think we might have halved the travel time, Kami. It won't be long. A year is still 365 cycles. I don't want to wait that long. I can't be alone that long. You're not alone. You have your friends, and I'm sure Bakugo will spend time telling you all my most embarrassing stories. Plus, I am leaving a radio. A radio? I stole some components from our comms and useless parts of the ship. I think I've managed to make something that could let us communicate. I just don't know how far it'll reach, and whether it'll be instant or not. I wish you didn't have to go. Me too, I don't expect you to be waiting for me or anything The yellow Nari huffed and cut Kirishima off by tugging him down to kiss him. Bakugo instantly looked away in embarrassment, but Izuku only cooed as the man's face flushed the same shade as his hair. Don't be stupid, I will be waiting, so you'd better get back quick. I promise. We're ready when you are, Kirishima. I'm really gonna miss you guys. Us too, good luck with all the research. Can't I just come with you? Come on Kami, you know that's a horrible idea. Who knows what they'd do to you? There are some really awful people on Earth. I can't let you do that. It's so unfair. Izuku pulled Denki back and handed him to Hanta, who had come along to see the humans off. Shoto had stayed back with the baby, but Hanta was apparently Denki's closest friend. He knew seeing Kirishima leave would be hard on him. You'd better get out of here before it only gets harder, man. Yeah, alright, I'll try to keep in touch. Please look out for him for me. Of course, we'll all be waiting for you. Good luck. He reached forward to squeeze Kirishima's shoulder, but as the two best friends looked into one another's sparkling eyes, they couldn't hold back from wrapping their arms around each other tightly. Cha, you got me all sappy. Hurry up and get out of here, go on. Thanks everyone. See you all soon, hopefully. He sniffed and gave one last goodbye wave, looking to Denki with tears in his eyes as the Nari cried in Hanta's arms, before taking a deep breath and shutting himself on the ship. Alright, come on everyone. We've gotta start heading back to village. We can't be too close for takeoff. Are you okay? Yeah, he'll be back in no time. It's Denki I'm worried about. Stupid, I'm so stupid falling in love with a human? You don't mean that. You'll be so happy when he comes back. You can get through this, Denki. That's easy for you to say. You didn't have to get abandoned. I'm sorry. Just give him time. Of course he's going to be emotional right away. 3 months later. Morninzu. You slept in late. Did I? You must have been extra comfy last night. Ka-chan. Cha, why is that the word you've decided to start saying out loud before anything else? We're on hunting duty this morning. Mina will get mad if we don't get up soon. Alright, you know you could just wake me up. I know, but you look so cute while you're sleeping. Brat. He huffed and rolled his body half onto Izuku's, lazily pulling his face forward for a kiss before sighing and sitting up to stretch. You think Denki will finally join us this morning? He's been looking a little brighter this week. Sue is still doing regular checkups. I think he's feeling a bit better finally, so maybe we can convince him. Denki had been quiet the last few months. He spent the first week after Kirishima left simply crying alone in his nest, curled up with one of the man's shirts he'd left behind. The crying only got worse once the shirt lost his scent and Kami refused to eat for days. Everyone seemed to notice that his mood wasn't getting better, and in fact only ever got worse when he was around either of the two newly formed couples. So in hopes of helping, and partially for their own personal wishes, Katsuki and Izuku had spent a week or so collecting more materials to build a new nest out in the forest, high up and away from the village. They still spent most days amongst the others, eating together and even looking after Tato every so often. She had grown so much in just a few months. Alright, let's go get him. But before the pair could drag themselves out of the nest, Katsuki paused. His ears picked up a faint crackling sound and Izuku heard it too, both of them frowning as they looked around. What is that? It sounds like the radio. The one Kirishima left? Katsuki jumped up and rushed out the nest, climbing across the tree branches as Izuku hopped and leapt ahead of him, up to the tallest branch behind the new nest where they'd set up the radio. Go, can hear me? Hey, Kiri? You're breaking up, but I hear you. Bakugo? Get some else. He's not making any sense. The signal is bad, I think he's moving somewhere else. Hey, do you hear me better now? Yes, perfectly. Oh my god, you're really fucking here? We have to get Denki over here? Don't celebrate, man, this is really fucking bad. What? Why? What's going on? We got back to Earth in less than a couple months. It was so fast, and once Star Corp got their hands on the Facerite it changed everything. All for one Enterprises fucked everything over. What? Why was that asshole allowed anywhere near any of it? Dude, he's rich and powerful, what do you expect? He owned way more shares in Star than anyone else, and practically funded the whole organization from the get-go. But the CEO made a promise. She swore to me that, yeah, well, she's not the CEO anymore. He bargained his way into getting some of the Facerite for his own company research. Star clearly needed more funds to send another team back to Elunari so soon. but to cut a long story short, he steamrolled Anon, convinced enough board members to assign him as the new CEO. What the fuck, he can just do that. Wait, Ka-chan, why can we talk to him right now? Fuck, Kiri, where are you? We're already on our way back, with a team of his guys. Fuck. What do we do now? Don't panic yet, I got him to put us on the ship back, he thinks we've betrayed you. He couldn't turn down the offer of having knowledgeable people on his team, so at least the three of us are here. Even Momo agrees what he's doing is wrong. We'll do whatever we can from this side, alright? But we haven't had enough time, I've hardly made any advancements, I got too fucking complacent and… Hey, calm down, you have the weapons. I know you're hard on yourself, but you have done what you said you'd do. You have your weapons and you have us. You have me and the others. We can fight, okay? Shit, I've gotta go, but we're set to arrive in like a week. You have to warn everyone? Of course, we'll be ready. Thank you. I'll come find you once we land. Good luck. The radio crackled back to faint static and Bakugo felt his chest tighten, panic and guilt setting in again just like those months ago. But Izuku reached out to hold his face and force him to look into his eyes. You aren't allowed to freak out on me, okay? We've got this. I've seen what you've done with those weapons, Ka-chan, you're amazing. You've been working so hard learning all about us to prepare for this moment. You'll be okay, he reassured, and the blonde man took a deep breath, searching Izuku's eyes for any hint of disappointment, but there was none. All he could see was the love in his eyes. I won't let them hurt you, no matter what. I love you so much. He pulled Izuku in for a kiss and could feel the Nari's heart racing. Of course he was scared, but he trusted Katsuki completely. I love you too. Cha, you're getting good at that? I know. It's unfair of you to flirt with me when I'm supposed to be stressed out. I know this is scary, but you don't have to be stressed out. We'll go and warn everyone and they will stand with us. They will fight, okay? Nobody is going to blame you. You're part of our family now, alright? He squeezed Katsuki's hand and he let out one final deep breath, before nodding as the two of them climbed down the trees and headed back to the village. Eureka! Look who finally woke up. We need to gather everyone up. It's up, we have news. Oh, can't it wait till after breakfast? No, please help me gather everyone. Alright. She rushed off to find Tsu and Mina as Izuku headed to find Rodi and Denki, and Bakugo made his way to the tribe's little family, linking with Hanta in panic. Sorry, but could you guys come to the main hall? This is important. What's wrong? We're rounding everyone up. I'll explain there. Sorry. Alright. Bakugo watched as he lifted Tato onto his back and gently woke Shoto from his nap, before nodding in his direction as the three of them followed behind him to the tribe's main gathering hall. They were the last to arrive. I'll explain to Eureka. Could you explain to the Nari? Of course. He disconnected their link for the first time in months, so he wouldn't distract Katsuki as he explained the situation to the one other human among them. Bakugo, does Izuku understand how bad this is? I don't know, but we can fight back. Who is we? Bakugo. Whoever can fight. Well, I'm a medic, Tsu and Izuku are too. We know Shoto can't fight and he'll have to look after Tato. All Denki does is glow. So what? It's Yumina and Hanta. Rodi's illusions can be distractions, but Bakugo, you can't possibly believe you stand a chance against an army of human soldiers? We have to try. There's nothing else we can do. We can run. We can leave the village and go far away. It'll take a long time for the humans to catch up to us. They would destroy everything in their path, Eureka. If we aren't here to stop them, who knows what would happen to the planet. At least we'd still be alive. For how long? They'd find us eventually. They'd kill everything on the planet and we'd have nowhere else to go. I'm staying to fight. You can run away if you want, but just know you'd be making Izuku's job a lot harder. I don't expect all of us to come out of this unscathed. We need you. Alright, yeah, Tsu wouldn't let me run away anyway. I promise I believe in this. I don't plan on dying, alright? I may have signed my life away for this mission, but now I have something to live for. I'm not leaving Izuku alone. Eureka nodded and Bakugo finally looked back to the rest of the room, just in time for Izuku to tug on his arm. Link? He reached his hands out and Katsuki held onto them, pressing their heads together, but before he could pull back, the man tugged him closer into a hug. Oh, this is nice. I'm scared, Izuku. What? Why? What if the weapons aren't enough? What if I'm not strong enough to protect you? Hey, Ka-chan, look around for me. He frowned with his face buried in Izuku's chest, before slowly pulling back to look at the rest of the Nari. Not one of them looked scared. They were determined, ready to fight for their home. They believe in you, I believe in you, everyone wants to help, so will you teach them the right way? Bakugo felt his heart swell in his chest. They were all looking to him for guidance, they trusted him, they didn't hate him for crash landing here and starting all this in the first place. The determination on their faces sent a wave of confidence coursing through his veins, so they got to work. Despite Yurika's claims of only being a medic, once Bakugo showed her the weapons he'd crafted, she got this look on her face. She was just as angry as he was at the humans, so she decided she'd fight too. Screw that oath she took when she became a doctor. She was harming human lives if it meant saving the ones she loved. They got in touch with Kirishima again a few times, and despite not being able to communicate with no link, it was as though hearing his voice was enough to light a fire in Denki. He swore he'd find a way to use his power to help. And Katsuki did just that, along with helping Rodi find uses for his illusions, and showing Mina the best way to use her strength. He even trained her with a few of his weapons in case she needed to use them. It was going great, it was almost fun. But he couldn't let himself get lost in it. This wasn't just a summer training camp like he used to do back in middle school. This was preparation for a war, to save this planet and its people. So when the day finally came, the day that the Naris were awoken by the deep rumbling of large ships descending on the planet, they were ready. Izuku, tell everyone to get to their positions. I'm going to try and talk to Kirishima. Okay, I guess I'll be in the med hall then. Don't worry, we've got this. I can't tell if you're just putting on a confident front for me, but I appreciate it. I love you. I love you too. Now go do what you do best. They gave each other a quick kiss before Izuku scurried away into the village, leaving Katsuki with the radio as he waited for Kirishima to contact him. Hey, Bakugo, are you there? Yeah, what's the plan on your end? Do you think you'll be able to get over here? Yeah, we've really gained their trust. All three of us should be able to slip away in the commotions of all the teams gathering. All three ships landed safely, unfortunately, but ours is the closest to the village. We can be there in like 20 minutes. Perfect. I've got armor and weapons for you, and Jiro if she'll fight. Momo should help the medics. Of course I'll fight. That's why I'm here, isn't it? Oh, yeah, I guess. I appreciate it. Alright, the doors are opening, we've gotta go. Get everyone else ready. See you soon. When they finished talking, Bakugo took a moment to sit alone in the quiet, placing a hand on his heart as he took some deep breaths to steady himself. He wanted to look confident and strong for everyone depending on him. Once he felt like he was ready, he rushed out the nest and back to the village, already spotting the Nari getting into their handmade Facerite armor or prepping the med stations. Bakugo went round to link with as many of them as he could. He'd learnt the cap was usually 3 or 4 of the Nari at once depending on their proximity, and for the fight that would be perfect. Denki, Kirishima's on his way. I know you're excited to see him, but remember how important you are for this to go well. I know, I'll have all the time in the world with him once we kick these assholes' butts. Of course. Hanta, is Shoto safe? He and Tato are in the med hall. I know they won't be much help, but don't feel bad, focus on protecting them. Right, Denki, and I have practiced a lot. It'll work, right? I'm sure, definitely. Hey, are you sure I should stay near the back? I could always go with my illusions as another decoy. Rodi, you aren't a decoy, your illusions are integral to this plan. You have to stay focused and safe, so you're doing more than enough by staying at the back to protect yourself, okay? Alright, thank you. There's commotion in the forest. Hold back, I think it's just our friends. They all crouched down into the long grass and held their breaths in silence, until Kirishima burst out through the tree line with the 2 girls in tow. Denki couldn't help himself. He instantly leapt out the grass and sprinted toward him, diving up into his arms as he cried, instantly severing his connection with Katsuki to connect with the man he loved instead. Hey, I know, I missed you too. I promise I'm not going anywhere again, alright? I don't want to cut this short, but you 3 have gotta get your protection on. It's not perfect, but it's better than nothing. Now for the weapons, treat it like a normal gun, but be extra wary of the recoil. It's pretty strong. Is Yurika back there? I'm sure she'll appreciate your help. They're making extra beds right now in case anyone needs to rest for a while. Where do you want me? Stay with me, behind Denki and Hanta. Wait, he's going at the front? Bakugo man, I can't just. Trust me, we've been working on this. It's the best shot we have. But what if he? Kirishima was cut off by Mina making a loud high-pitched sound, and Denki instantly tugged him down into the grass along with everyone else. Hey Kiri, Jiro, Sorry I didn't have time to explain, but just stay down till we have cover, Hanta and Denki are on it. They nodded and stayed quiet as they peered through the long grass toward the forest, watching and listening as the trees shifted and fell apart as the humans plowed through in their direction. Just as they breached the final layer of trees and began heading into the clearing between the forest and the village, dark inky clouds of black began billowing from Hanta's position in the grass. The humans paused for a moment and yelled to one another in the confusion until they were completely encapsulated within the dark fog. Denki now? On Katsuki's command, Kami leapt out from the grass and began glowing brightly, jumping and dashing through the darkness to create an incredibly disorienting environment, which instantly set their enemies off in panic as they blindly fired their weapons into the fog. That was Rodi's cue to create illusions of more Nari to surround them while Katsuki led the other three into fight, picking off all the people outside the big machine. These weapons are crazy, Bakugo, but they aren't damaging that machine? What? Bakugo stopped firing at the people to instead blast the machine with his bullets, and Jiro was right, it was barely scratching the surface. It's reinforced with the Facerite we gave them. What the hell are we supposed to do against that? Bakugo ran a hand through his hair as his mind raced with thoughts, trying to think of anything they could try, but while he was distracted he felt a heavy impact on the side of his lower stomach and instantly buckled in pain. Ah fuck, I'm hit, my side, fuck. Cover us, I'm taking him to the med hall. Right, go quick. Katsuki pressed a hand against his side as he leaned against Mina and hobbled back toward the medics. The moment they burst through the door, Izuku was in a panic. Oh god, why are you the first one to get hurt, huh? And you were promising me you'd be fine. Zu, I am fine, you can heal me. He smiled weakly before wincing as Yurika helped Mina lay him down on one of the makeshift beds, letting Izuku hold his hands as Tsu placed hers over Katsuki's wound. This is like, really bad. I could never patch you up without major supplies. We're so lucky we have them. Thanks for the reassurance, Doc. You'll be fine. Fuck, even once you guys heal me and send me back out there, I think we're fucked. What do you mean? The machine, it's clearly made with a lot of Facerite. Even our weapons can't pierce it. Like, sure, we're scratching it up, but that's not enough. We can't stop it and it's getting closer. Should we maybe consider what I said before? We're not giving up, not yet. But if it makes it to the village before you can even damage it, then what hope do we have? Bakugo watched as Tsu moved her hands from his stomach to instead hold Yurika's shoulder and look into her eyes with conviction. It seemed to calm the brunette down as she took a deep breath and stood from the ground. How are you feeling? Good as new. You're incredible. Tell Tsu I said thanks. Yeah? Wait, I think Yurika has a point. What? We can't flee, Izuku. I can't let you die out there. I'm not going to die. I need to get back out there. Alright, we're already at a numbers disadvantage. Thank you for healing me. He pressed his lips to Izuku's cheek in a rush before hurrying back out to the fight, gunfire ringing in Izuku's ears as he watched him go. Tsu, I'll be back soon. What? Wait, Izuku? But before she could stop him, he'd slipped out the door, away from their safety without Katsuki's knowledge. How's it looking out here? It's getting way too close. We can't do anything? I think we got all their reinforcements, but that machine is unstoppable. Holy shit, it's already at the village? They all hesitated, watching Hanta's fog slowly fade away as the machine rolled closer and closer to the nest on the outskirts of the village, Denki's nest. Wait, Kami, don't go over there. Stay back, come on. He rushed after the yellow Nari who completely lost track of their mission, bounding toward his home just as the giant hunk of metal rolled right into it, destroying the legs as it collapsed to the ground. And as he stared in disbelief, they all let their guards down. None of them noticed a whole new wave of reinforcements charging from the behind the machine until Denki had been shot in the shoulder. Shit, cover me, Hanta? The dark Nari snapped back to reality and used every ounce of his energy to cover the area in more inky fog. It was less effective without Denki's help, but was better than nothing as they all began to retreat to the med hall. Yurika, we're falling back. Wait, Bakugo, shit. What? We don't have time, you need to help Denki and we have to get out of here, we can't stop that thing. Izuku, come on. Wait, where the fuck is Izuku? Tsu said he rushed off after you went back out there. I don't know where he went. I didn't see him. Wait, Bakugo, don't. But the blonde man was no longer rational. He raced back out the large nest with his eyes wide, searching the field for any flashes of green, until Mina rushed after him to pull him back into cover. We have no defense out there anymore, so you're a prime target. You can't just go out there like that. Izuku isn't stupid, he wouldn't have gone into the line of fire, you know that? Then where is he? The room fell silent, nobody knew, and Bakugo's fear and panic quickly transformed into anger as he turned to glare at Eureka, pointing a finger as he yelled. Why didn't you tell me the second he left? I can't go out there, I have no protection either. Tsu was the first to know and we were busy. Apparently he said he'd be back soon, right? Tsu nodded as she kept her hands on Denki's wounded shoulder, but her reassurance didn't mean shit to Bakugo. His mind was on the verge of deciding that surrendering was his only option to find Izuku. But before he could do anything they heard a loud commotion outside. What the hell was that? I'm gonna stay back with Denki? Katsuki didn't hesitate to rush outside again. Hanta and Mina raced after him, but all three of them instantly paused in shock. Before them was a horde of 5 sacred beasts, all ramming through their enemies and slamming their bodies against the giant machine. Look, it's Izuku, with Tsukikage. Katsuki looked to where she was pointing to see the green Nari seated on the back of one of the sacred beasts, and watched him ram directly into the front of the machine. Tsukikage's armored skin actually left a dent. Izuku, what the hell are you doing? Get down, that's dangerous. Izuku turned to look at him and only grinned in response, refusing to get down as he screamed a sort of battle cry that spurred all the beasts to ram the machine together, actually halting its momentum and making it slide backwards. They're doing it, they're winning? Katsuki's heart was racing as he spotted yet another group of people rush out from the trees with weapons in hand. His senses blurred as he sprinted toward the group of raging beasts, screaming Izuku's name as he felt as though he was running in slow motion. But as the alien turned to look at him again, Katsuki watched as he was shot directly in the face. The momentum had his head flying back as he fell limply off of Tsukikage. The others leapt into motion, Hanta shrouding the area in darkness yet again as the beasts forced the machine back. Mina took Izuku's place on Tsukikage's back as Katsuki frantically carried him to the med hall. On the way in he passed by Denki and Kirishima rushing back out to help, but Katsuki's mind was so clouded with fear and panic that he didn't even register them. All he could do was place Izuku on a table as his eyes stared anywhere but at his face. He couldn't bear to look. Maybe subconsciously he'd convinced himself that if he didn't see how bad it was it wouldn't be real. Oh fuck, Tsu, he's fine, right? He's fine, he's okay, you can save him. Bakugo, he's... What? Tsu, he's not breathing. What do you mean? Of course he's breathing, he's not fucking dead. Eureka, what? Right? It's fine, you should go and sit down. Bakugo was shaking. His eyes were still glued to Izuku, mostly just his hands, limply laying beside him as Tsu cradled his head in an attempt to heal him. In the man's state of pure delirium he hadn't stopped to register that the gunshot had in fact killed Izuku on impact. Eureka of course knew this, but Tsu wasn't giving up. Somehow she believed he was still savable. The room was silent, save for the sound of gunfire and creaking metal from out on the battlefield. Unbeknownst to the people inside, they were in fact winning. The machine was retreating through the forest and the few remaining enemy soldiers had surrendered. It was taking too long. Tsu was doing her best, but it was taking so long to heal him that Bakugo's walls of denial were crumbling. His eyes drifted up to Izuku's face and his vision instantly began to blur. Fear and pain racked through his body as he sobbed, grasping the Nari's hands tightly as he leaned down to press his head to them. Please save him, Tsu, I don't know what I'll do if you can't. You have to save him. You gotta wake up Izuku. You have to. Hey, Bakugo takes some deep breaths. I really thought he was gone, but she's not giving up. Tsu believes she can save him. Okay, don't lose hope. He's dead, isn't he? He's fucking dead. He did die, but Tsu's gonna save him. Okay. How do you save someone who is already dead? He was shot in the fucking head, he's not coming back. I don't know, okay, but fuck Bakugo. We've seen what they're capable of. Please just try to believe in them. All of Bakugo's emotions completely overwhelmed him, and as his chest heaved and his body shook, exhaustion took over and he passed out before he could yell another word. When Katsuki finally began to stir awake, the first thing he noticed was the weight on his chest. His eyes fluttered open only to be met with tufts of green hair, and his heart jumped in his chest as everything came flooding back to him. Izuku, is that you? Ka-chan? Hearing the sweet nickname the Nari had given him months ago, the playful way to tease him after he'd learned more about Bakugo's native language, his heart swelled and he tugged Izuku higher up his chest to squeeze him in a hug. Oh, are you okay? What? I should be asking you that? You're alive? Of course I am. Did you underestimate Tsu? He giggled, but Bakugo's initial overwhelming joy faltered as they finally looked into one another's eyes, and the man brought a hand up to cup Izuku's face. Oh, well, even Tsu has her limits. She couldn't save my eye. I mean, nobody could have. There was nothing left, so, nothing to heal. He shrugged it off, but Katsuki frowned, feeling the guilt weighing down on him. He'd failed to protect Izuku like he'd promised. It doesn't even matter, look, I'm alive and you're alive and the nasty humans are gone. He grinned and leaned forward in an attempt to kiss Katsuki, but the man held him back and brushed his thumb across his cheek again. You were so reckless, Izuku. I promised I'd protect you and you slipped out of my sights. I should have been watching you, but then it was too late and I'm sorry. I know you told me to stay out of the fight, but I just couldn't. We both got hurt, but we're both okay. That's all that matters to me. Are you mad? What? No, of course not. If anything, I'm mad at myself. In the end, you were the one who saved this place, not me. I never could have done anything without you though, so stop moping and kiss me already. I've been waiting so long for you to wake up. He huffed and Katsuki couldn't hold back his smile, not hesitating to fulfill the Nari's request as he leaned in to connect their lips sweetly. Oh my god, he's awake. Finally? I was starting to think Tsu would need to try and heal a coma or something. The two of them pulled apart as their friends entered the room, and Bakugo couldn't help but frown. What do you mean? How long was I asleep? Oh, like a day and a half. I'm pretty sure you just overworked yourself and got super duper stressed out. Your body needed time to recharge. Can't believe I passed out while Izuku was literally dead. Stop bringing that up. I didn't stay dead, so it doesn't count. You did a lot. It makes sense you'd get totally wiped out. The only downside is you didn't get to say goodbye to Momo and Jiro. What? Goodbye? They went back to Earth on one of the ships. They brought back the remaining soldiers too, but it's all to relay the message that humans don't stand a chance against Nari. I'm sure they'll stay away now. You really think so? Yes, we destroyed them, man. And with so few of us versus so many of them, imagine we had more time, more resources, and more people. They don't stand a chance. We showed them. So, we're all staying here now? Yup, you didn't want to go back to Earth, right? What? No. I'm just glad Denki has Kiri now, and I have my best friend. You're happy, being stuck here with me forever? Of course, the last few months were the best of my life. I wouldn't trade this life for anything. Then, how would you feel about getting a little more serious? What? What do you mean? Katsuki felt his face heating up as Izuku leaned in close, moving his mouth round to his ear and whispering, we should make a baby. A butt baby? What? Bakugo a father? Come on, we'd be great parents. I've never been good with kids. Well, that's not true. You looked after Tato a lot while you've been here. I guess, but she's not my kid, you know? It's easier, less to mess up. Ah, come on man, you wouldn't mess up. You're an amazing role model for a child. I really want to make a baby with you, but we can't if you have any reservations anyway, so I'll wait for you. Alright, yeah, I'll work on it. I love you. I love you too. 1 year later. The end. I have had one of the worst weeks of my life. I lost 2 people I considered my best friends for 4 years and still got this video done. I realize that sounds like they died. They did not, they just aren't my friends anymore, which sucks, really bad. I will be taking some time off, hopefully only a week, meaning the next video will be out 3 weeks from now, but honestly I wouldn't be surprised if it's longer. I am so mentally unwell. Anyway, sorry for the sob story. Love you guys, I hope you enjoyed the finale to this series and I thank you so much for being here. Till the next one.